Hey y'all. I have accumulated a lot of trash over the past couple of weeks, and I haven't been able to do anything with it because I've just had a lot of personal stuff going on. So I thought today I would just kind of go through my trash and get it ready to be used, sort through it. I don't know if I'll actually do anything other than let's just visit and sort through our trash. How's that? But before I do that, I want to show you how to string your custom keeper. If you are using a custom keeper like I am to kind of, work without binding because you don't know what you're doing or where you're going, and you just kind of want that flexibility. And if you bought a custom keeper, I'll show you how it comes and then what you can do about the stringing part. I do still have some available on my website if you would like a custom keeper. I know I've got several of these composition notebook size and then one that's one size smaller, and there's probably still a couple of the big A4s too. So check over there if you still want one. When you get your custom keeper, it comes like this, and it has stringing instructions. Now it comes already strung. This is the closure thing that goes like this, and then the inside it's strung but it's not tied off. And if you like it just like it is, you're ready to go. All you have to do is just take these strings and tie them in a knot, and then you're done. And I leave some extra room here in case you want to retie this and make it tighter or looser. And then once you're done, you can just kind of snip that off. But let's say you get it and you decide that you want this side to be your cover instead of this side on the outside. And this is why I don't tie these off. I leave these open so that you can reverse it if you want to. So all you'll have to do, pull out your center string and then just unstring it. And there's plenty of extra elastic, so you're good. And it's a little bit easier if you use a piece of wire to help you, and I didn't grab my piece of wire. Hang on and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is just a little piece of craft wire that I'm using. You can use a piece of string or whatever. This just makes it a little easier to thread. What you're going to do is you decided maybe you want this to be the outside and you want this to be the inside. So you can take your center string and it was like this. Just come up this way. I just kind of pinch it together and then squish it through that hole. And if you find that that's difficult, that's what this is for. You can do this and then poke these through the hole and pull it through. It's just a little helper in stringing things like this. So now this is going to be the outside. So this will be the inside of our keeper, and I want to take my string and just kind of use my wire kind of like you would a needle, like you were sewing, and you want to go down through the middle hole. Remember, this is the inside. Down through the middle. Whoops! And these instructions show you, it should be really pretty clear. You start here, go down through the middle, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but I know watching someone else do it and then copying them is usually easier than trying to read a written instruction. So I'm going to start, I went down through the middle hole, right, and I'm going to leave a tail that goes just a couple of inches past the center. So about like that. Now I'm going to pick, it doesn't matter which side you go in, but you're going to come up through one of the other 3 holes. Just choose one. Go up through, hold on to your piece you've already strung. So see, it's like that. And then down through the opposite one, right here. See, we're just going to go kind of up, across, up, down the whole way. And you don't need to pull it super tight. If you pull it really tight, these kind of curve in, and which really doesn't bother me. But if it bothers you, you want to leave them a little bit loose. So I just get them, you know, just to where they're not saggy. And then you're going to go back up through the middle, just the next hole over. You don't skip holes or anything. It's just do the next hole over like that. Then now we're back in the middle. We go up, and remember this is where we first went down through. That was our first one, right? You're going to go up through that same hole. Just kind of move your little elastic to the side, and this is where this comes really handy. Just go right there, go up through that one, and pull it not too tight, not too loose, just like that. So you with me? And then again, just move to the next hole. So come up through like this. So that is what you got going on the front side, and then on the inside, you just go down to the one opposite, like so. And then you can see you need to come up through the middle where you've already been. And then, whoops, I pulled way too tight on it. See what happens? Just loosen that back up. And there you have it. You are strung. And then you just take this, you can tie it off in just a plain old square knot. And okay, here's your square knot, and there's instructions on here for a square knot. And here's how I do it in my head, because that right over left, left over right thing does not work for me. Too confusing. I don't know why, but it just doesn't. So here's how I talk myself through a square knot. I just do this, and it doesn't matter if you do right over left or left over right, just do whatever's natural to you. Okay, so you've got that. Now do you see how there's a top and a bottom? See, this is kind of the top, and this is kind of the bottom, because, you know, if that's your center line, you've got a tail on the top and a tail on the bottom. So in my mind, I tell myself, keep the top to the top, keep the bottom to the bottom. So I'm at this point, I don't want to do this, because see, that's bringing the bottom up to the top. No, don't do that. You want to keep the bottom on the bottom and the top on the top. So you do this. You bring this top one over the top. See? Don't bring the bottom one up. That's wrong. Don't bring the top one down. That's wrong. Just keep the top to the top and the bottom to the bottom, and then keep this. See, this is the top one, so make sure it crosses over the top of the bottom one. Is that clear as mud? Top, keep it on top, bottom, keep it on the bottom. Then when you tie it off, that's going to give you your square knot. Okay? So clear as mud, right? You know, you're not on a sailboat. Your life doesn't depend on this knot. If a granny knot is all you can manage, do your granny knot. You do you, okay? Now when I go and I trim mine off, I take a lighter and kind of singe the part here. You know, if I cut it, I kind of singe it because the outside of the elastic is kind of fuzzy and stringy. So, you know, I do that with a lighter so that it won't continue to unravel, and then you've got your perfectly neat, tidy binding. Let me see if I can show you here. Yeah, see this one? I just trimmed it off and then took a lighter just to kind of gently heat where I trimmed so that it won't have those unravelly stringy things. And by the way, your custom keeper is made from vinyl, which has a polyester fabric type content to it. And you may notice that after some wear and tear, it starts to get fuzzy around the edges. And honestly, I'm trying to work this back into the hole. Give me a second. Okay. Let me scooch back out. So it might get kind of fuzzy because some of those polyester fibers are just working their way out. If that happens, hit it with a lighter and they'll melt. And then just kind of do this and then your edges will be all smooth again. And some of the banners do it really bad. I have one that I love. It was a Game of Thrones billboard. And it was fabulous, but oh my gosh, it fuzzies up really bad. So every once in a while, I just hit it with a lighter and kind of singe off the fuzzies, and then it's fine. So yeah, if yours starts fuzzying up on the edges, don't think, oh my gosh, it's wearing out. No, it's not wearing out. Just, yeah, singe it off, all is well. So that is how you reverse and string your custom keeper, should you choose to do that. Okay. Now, back to our trash. Alright, oh my gosh. Okay, Jason went to the Grand Canyon for his 60th birthday. He went to hike the Grand Canyon. I did not go with him, although I would have loved to see the Grand Canyon. I have absolutely zero desire to hike the thing, okay? It's big. It's rocky. There's, inclines, and that's not the kind of hiking I do. I love to go hiking, but I want a paved trail. I want it to have lighting if it's dark outside. The temperature has to be right around 72 with a very low humidity, no rain. My shoes have to be laced just exactly right, because if they're too tight, that irritates me. And I mean, I'm serious, the planets have to be aligned just perfectly, and then I'm all about the hike. I can hike all day long with you if the conditions are just exactly right. But yeah, I want a flat trail. I don't want to have to go up a hill or even down a hill. I can manage a few rocks as long as I don't have to lift my foot more than about 6 inches to step up on the rock. Then I can tolerate just a little bit of that kind of a climb. And I really don't want more than about, maybe 6 of those rocks if it's an uphill thing, if I'm forced to go uphill. So I have a lot of rules. So needless to say, we do hike together sometimes, but not often because, my rules have to be met. So yeah, I did not go to the Grand Canyon. Jason did. He had a great time. Spent the week with his family there in Arizona, so I got to see his sister and his parents, and he took a lot of electrolytes with him. So I've got all these empty prime boxes, and I've got several already in my stash. So I don't even know if I should keep all these. I think I'll keep this one because I don't know that. Do I have a red, white, and blue? I can't remember. So maybe I'll do that, or maybe I'll just keep parts. Okay, obviously I'm not ready to think about that yet. Okay, I've got some, this was my store brand Benadryl, which I actually use as a sleep aid because, it's got the same medicine in it that over-the-counter sleep aids do. So if I have trouble sleeping, I just pop me an Equate Benadryl, and that usually does the trick. And now that I look at it, this is really boring. There's absolutely nothing fun about this. I don't even know that I would use it for a, well, I mean, it might make a good pocket, but so would everything else. I could just do that, fold those under and glue them down so that it's a little bit sturdier. Make it a pocket. Maybe I'll do that. Alright. Clearly I'm not ready to think about that yet either. And, oh, raspberry lemonade. This has no electrolytes, but it's just what I put in my water. I just don't really like to drink plain water all that much. I like it to have a little flavor. So I put these little sugar-free flavor packets in there. So I've got that. These I use in my notepad folios, which I sometimes have on my website. I've got like a stack of them out there that I just have to take pictures of them and list them. And, you know, they hold these little mini legal pads and they fold over and there's a little pocket. And they're really handy for just, especially if you're a list maker, because they're refillable. So, yeah, that's what all these are. And I always have a lot of them. So I need to do something fun with those. Anything sticky labels that I peel off, I just stick on a piece of parchment. So these are some of the labels from the last couple of weeks that I've got. And bags. This was, I like On the Border Cantina style chips, because the Tostitos were always my favorite because they're like light and crispy, but they're a lot more expensive than On the Border, and they're really almost the same thing. So I've been buying the On the Border because the bag's bigger and it's cheaper, and they're really good. And sometimes I make what I call supper nachos. It's just like a big sheet pan. You line it with tortilla chips, and then meat, and then refried beans, and then cheese and jalapenos, and it's just this huge pan. And we just eat nachos for dinner. We have it with some salsa and some guacamole, and we like that. So, yeah, we eat a lot of these chips. And I've saved this bag in several different forms, so I thought, well, maybe I'll just do it like this. I cut it like this because it's a big bag. And then maybe I can sew this up, and then it's a little pouch or something. Or I could just put something in there that shows through, sew the whole thing up, and then it's a little decorative, whatever. Anyway, I've got options here. So there's that. This little bag from Pretzels. I could do something with that. And then these gloves. I liked the window. It's got both sides. There's a window. So yeah, I could put some kind of fun two-sided something in there, seal it up, and then that would be cool. I like anything with a window. I've got, speaking of windows, this box has a window. So yeah, I kept this because you can do fun stuff in there. And then Jason had to have a colonoscopy, no problems, just part of the old man routine, and woman, but this was his turn. So I kept his little bracelet from his colonoscopy, and we had fun with it, because when we walked in, I said, hey, I dare you to walk up to the reception desk and say, Jason Green reporting for duty. Get it? Duty. And he did it. And fortunately, the receptionist thought it was hilarious, and she had not heard that one before. And then even when we finished and we're leaving, she goes, hey, thank you for your service. So, if you have to have the colonoscopy, you might as well have fun with it. And we did. And all was well, so yay. And then these are just cardboard boxes. There was some soup and cream of wheat. I love cream of wheat. And then, boxes from all of our questionable choices in food. So, yeah, I've got all these. We go through a ton of Raisin Bran. Jason eats a lot of Raisin Bran, so I don't keep all of the boxes. But this one had a spoonful, goes a long way, and I like the shape. And then there's the spoon, and it looks like it'd be easy to cut out, so I'm going to use that. I got that. And then junk mail was this one from Walmart Plus, which I do use, and now we get 25% off of Burger King, which does me no good, because Burger King would be one of the very last fast food places I choose to eat, but that's okay. But look, oh yeah, it's an actual wearable little flimsy paper crown, but how fun will that be in my journal somehow. Talk about the ultimate fold out. Oh yeah, we're going to use that somehow. I may just slip that in there and make that a page, which I can do because I'm not bound, right? So I've got that, and then one of our favorite local pizza places right down the street. We eat there about once a week, and this was the top of our takeout box, and I'm probably just going to cut out their logo, you know, peel it off and do something with that. So that's what I've got, and now that I've said all that, I am in no mood to do anything else. So here's what I'll do. I'll get these, because this was on the piece of parchment that I keep in the kitchen for when I'm, you know, I run across sticky things I need to put on there. And I'll just go ahead and put it in my binder. This is my large A4 custom keeper that I'm collecting my trash and scraps and junk mail to use in this journal that I'm working on. And oh look, I already have the red, white, and blue one. So how many do I need? Do I really need to keep all those? Probably not, because I haven't used that one. Alright, so here's this piece of parchment, and I think I'm just going to fold this. Yeah, I'll fold this in half and put it with this one. And there we go. And then I will, yeah, like I said, I've just lost my inspiration to do anything. So I think what I'll do is stare at these for a little while and see what happens, and then we'll just call it quits for today. We'll just keep it short and sweet, and then I'll come back again hopefully in a week. I think I waited 2 weeks this time because of everything happening, but then we can go in and do more fun things like this, see what happens, because I'm loving how this is coming along. So, for now, let's call it a day. The end.